Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burning G. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burning G. All by his bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm first week ballin', trying to get my bread long. You know the game gone and my mind been blown. Different decisions that I done made got me fucked up now. Still gon' thug the life I'm living, still gon' hold this shit down. Every day of my life, yeah, nigga chasing trees. And the same niggas that be around there will see you off your feet. My mama been doing bad, but I ain't going into that. I done picked that girl up when I caught my first package. I be damn. Me and my people hurting for something for a day. That shit happened, the next man ain't getting nothing. Fade to the root of evil, and that's my damn best friend. And I put that on my life, ain't nobody gon' fuck with him. You try to jam it, yeah, that ass getting chopped. Trying to serve, ain't got no business on my block, I bet you getting chopped. Now either way you try to fuck with my pockets, don't believe that ass getting chopped. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burning G. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burning G. All by his bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm back in the mix. Those flaky niggas better stand down. Came home, got me some yam, I'm the man now. Niggas, some bitches all from my face, I ain't know who they is. Everybody up from my mix like I'm a hero and shit. Fall back, I'll buy a brick. Right now I'm on a mission, I'm giving you 2 for 20. Got grams going for 50. Putting that in my pockets, the nigga you bullshitting. What the fuck you ain't listen? I done told you I got to get it. Nobody depending on me, so it's all mine. I ain't stressing out by myself, that's how it going down. My mama fighting her little dicks and she gon' be alright. Boy, I have a tweaking and begging, I put something up on the pipe. It's a no fraction of my life, still all in for a lick. Looking for fatty, looking for niggas to tone mix. Start to lurking if I'm hurting, different side come out. That flip shit, stop the Jacob, Mr. High come out. Gonna be, you know how I played it all. That nigga burning G.
Welcome to your favorite channel. It's your boy PBK on the PBC. What's going on tonight, Taryn Cole, man? Appreciate you dropping in the building tonight. Natural Cuts, what's going on? Big shout out to all the pet lovers out there. Everybody taking care of them pets across the world. Everybody doing what they gotta do. It's another night of that news. It's your boy PBK. Like I said before, on Pelican Bay's Corner. We're gonna talk about it. The things they don't want to talk about, sometimes we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. I hope everybody having a great day, man. Hope y'all brothers had a great day, great evening. You know what I'm saying? Ready for the weekend. For my brothers that's doing that college stuff and ready for that that March Madness to get over, so your teams can, you know, you can win your bets and all kind of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But big salute and big shout out to everybody out there, man, doing what they got to do. Now, first thing I want to speak about, you know, we did had a couple food recalls in 2026. You know, and I'm gonna say a couple. I'm not gonna go back to 2025, you know, because there's a whole bunch from that year. But we just going on from 2026. You have Elite Treats LLC. They recalled, you know, a small amount of their dog food for potential salmon contamination. You know, and this is 2026. And it was a FDA advisory, warns not to feed raw energy dog food. Raw energy dog food, if you're using that across this country, or the elite treats, you might want to, check your brand. It's a recall on those two dog foods in 2026. Now, Gold Star Distribution had a recall at end of 2025, at the very end, on the 26th of December, had a recall on some of their food, Gold Star Distribution. And I'm gonna leave it at that. It's always good to check on the recalls of them dog foods, man. Just to make sure, the brand that you're using is not a bad brand of dog food. You never know, you might have a show, coming up, or, some type of event coming up where you need your dog to be eating the best food, out there. And not something that's contaminated. But let me get into this news for y'all brothers and sisters real quick, and then we're gonna get into this dog talk. First, I want to go to Los Angeles. We're gonna go to the West Coast again. Where we got they say it's the biggest animal cruelty seizure in American history. You know what I'm saying? They said 700 dogs and cats. I'm just looking at it from a logical person's view. I'm just gonna say they probably had a whole bunch of dogs and probably about 500 or 600 cats. I'm just guessing. Maybe some horses and other things too. I'm just trying to be logical at the same time. I'm not gonna say they had 300 or 400 dogs. And I know how them cats be breeding. Them cats get off in the woods and they get off in different places and just make kittens. I'm gonna say they had 500 or 600 cats and a bunch of dogs, but I don't know. They say 700 dogs and cats all together. So I'm gonna give y'all that news, man, and then I got a little bit more news I'm gonna give you as well.
Animal Control says they are on scene of one of the largest rescues and seizures of cats and dogs perhaps ever in the United States, all because of serious abuse allegations. Let's go to some live pictures from SkyCal. You're going to see them way up into the north. This is near where the 5 and the 138 meet. That's near the Grapevine. This is to the east of it in an area called 3 Points. LA Department of Animal Care and Control says they have more than 70 staff members on this property that are currently in the process of rescuing more than 700 dogs and cats that are on this property, as well as other animals. Now, this all stems from allegations of some kind of animal welfare law abuse. There's a huge number of animal control officers up there. You can see all of those white cars in a line there. I apologize. This is so far north that SkyCal may have some trouble bringing back these live pictures, but we believe this is the property in question here. We have seen animal control officers going in and out of this property. It's the 46,000 block of 260th Street West in the Lake Hughes area. But there are so many animals on this property. They are describing this in their news release to us as possibly one of the largest cases of animal abuse ever in the United States to be rescued. There's all of these dogs and cats are being rescued right now. This is going to take a massive operation. Now, we have a crew that is on the scene, on the way to the scene, but it is quite distant. As I said, it is north of the Lancaster-Palmdale area. This is some video that we shot while SkyCal did have a stable signal. This is video, and you can see what there appears to be a white dog in one of the cages down there. Now, that's the only live animal that we have seen so far with live pictures from SkyCal, so it's unclear where these other 700 animals are on the property. This is a very large piece of property, so there's a lot more to investigate here. We're reaching out to Animal Control to get some more information, but they say that this is so large that it's taken also resources from the SPCLA, Pasadena Humane Society, and Kern County Animal Control to help here because they need so much staff. Now, we are also trying to figure out what kind of property this is, if this is some sort of a rescue property, or if this is just some private citizen who had amassed a huge amount of animals. We don't know yet, but we do have a crew on the way. We're going to stay on this. When we learn more, we will jump back on and let you know. Now, is there something you want to tell us here at the desk? You have information about the story? Text it to us at 818-221-2222. You can send us story ideas, things you want us to look into, or if you have pictures or video and you're up in that area, please send it to us, and it'll come right to either myself or a member of our assignment desk team.
To Mundell and Skyfox over Lake Hughes. What's happening? Oh, it is one of those stories that's really difficult to report. Apparently hundreds, literally hundreds of animals have been found out here in this Lake Hughes home. This is going to be off of 266th Street near the cross of Pine Canyon. I'm going to show you the home, and then I'm going to show you the response from animal control. LA County workers are out here. You can see some of them walking right there. And the only evidence that we see of any animals at all at this property is there's one dog in a kennel just on that porch right there. Right now that tree's blocking it. Maybe we can move around a little bit. But let me show you the response of the workers from animal control that have showed up out here. There is an army of workers that have showed up to remove some of these animals, and they're calling their dogs and cats for the most part. These are all those trucks that you see from animal control. They just goes and goes and goes. There's a number of them here, and then there's actually a command post at the corner of 266 and Pine Canyon. Look, you can get an idea of all the workers that are out here to do rescues. That's a proportion of the command post. Then you have another one over here, and in this command post we actually see a horse trailer as well, 2 of them. So you're wondering maybe there are some larger animals in there as well. Now, we haven't seen anybody make their way into that home as of yet. Right now, I believe that they're just trying to figure out or coordinate some kind of logistics on how they're going to get all these animals out of here. Again, this is the property that they're talking about. And as far as animals that we can see, the only one that we see is there's a kennel out front, and you can see one dog by themselves out there on that patio. But it is an unusual looking house. You can see all the windows are taped up. That was not done by the animal control. You can see somebody actually inside the home right there and you can see what they're wearing. So it kind of gives you a feeling that there might be some kind of dangerous situation inside there as well. But again, we're hearing hundreds of animals inside that home, dogs and cats for the most part. But again, we see some larger trailers, and there's a big piece of property. So there may be some horses out there as well. This is just starting out, starts getting underway out here from the animal control. So this is going to be going on all afternoon. And again, support your animal shelters and go check in and see maybe there's going to be an animal there that you might be able to help, because I just fear that a lot of these animals might be pulled out of that home only to be euthanized later on. So just kind of check in, and if you're looking for an animal, let's take, an animal shelter probably be the place to look, especially in the LA County area. I'm Stu up in Skybox, sending it back to y'all in the studio.
Wow, what a story that is. Okay, Stu, thank you so much. We'll have more on that coming up as well.
John Denver says a zoo down there, man. Yes, sir. 700 dogs, cats, and over there in California. That's how it's going over there. Now, we got a little bit of dog talk because I want to speak about food aggression in dogs, and I want to speak about some issues with puppies as well. But before I get into that, we always say anybody can change. You did things in the past, and it shouldn't come back to haunt you, in the things that you're doing in modern day time. And everybody believes in change. You know what I'm saying? And what we're coming to now is, and it's kind of crazy to me, and I kind of see that it's to the point where no matter how you think you're doing things positive, no matter how good you think you're doing things, if you messed up in the past, they look at you a certain kind of way. It don't make no difference what kind of way they smile at you in your face. At the end of the day, it don't make no difference what color you is, black or white or Spanish. It don't make no difference. And what I'm about to give you now, if you've been paying attention to any of the dog news and stuff like that, the fella that won the Crufts Best in Show this 2026, he's getting a lot of flack. I want to say they took the trophy back. I ain't sure if they took his award back or not, but he's getting a lot of flack from a lot of the sponsors and different things, and they're just talking trash about it. And I want to be certain that they took the award back from him. And all because he had a animal cruelty charge in 2001. It's 2026. He had an animal cruelty charge in 2001, and it just got out. So you know how it go. You beat people, and some of your opponents out there oh, he go dig up your past and all kind of stuff like that. But my thing is 2001, it's 2026. That's 25 years later, you know, and you talking about animal cruelty to the point where the sponsors and stuff leaving the man, you know, you lose your award, you know, your win is default, all because of a 25-year-old animal cruelty charge. And I'm willing to bet you, out of all them contestants, at least one of them got a sexual crime on their record. I'm willing to bet you, at least one of them. And I guarantee you they wouldn't have brought that up 25 years later. Because I'm quite sure we can go back and start researching all the winners from the Westminster show to the Cruft show, all the winners to at least 2010. And we go back and then we start doing the research on all the winners in the Westminster and the Cruft dog show from 2010 on back to 26. I guarantee out of all them, somebody got some sexual conduct charges. Whether it's on a woman, a man, a child, or whoever. But they ain't bring that up. 2001, this man had an animal cruelty charge. He wasn't fighting dogs. Not saying that's the worst thing you could do, you know, but it had a little incident that he went through. He had a dog. I want to say the dog passed away or something, or the dog went to the dog animal shelter and ended up passing away or something like that, you know. But like I said, you know, whatever they did to him then, the charge they gave him, the time they gave him, whatever, he did his time. And because a man, you know, 25 years before time made a mistake, you didn't ban him from having dogs, none of that type of stuff. Because he outdid, and I guarantee you, you know I'm right. That hate only came from one of them people in that circle that he beat. Only one of them people in that circle went back and said, oh, so how he gonna be a winner, this and that, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But just imagine, if they think that way about him, imagine what they think about you and about me and about the next person with these pit bulls and these different dogs like this that get out here and you make mistakes and you feel like you're doing the right thing now. You want to live right now. You want to do it right now. You know what I'm saying? And you got just a fair chance as anybody else. So imagine if that was one of us that ever been in a dog situation, you know, any brother that ever been in a dog situation and you turn around and you doing things on a different note. Imagine if that was you and you didn't work hard to get to a certain point in the Westminster or this Cruft dog show, you know, and you don't work hard. And now they want to bring back something from your past. It may not even be that far along as 2001, but it's your past. You know, it is crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't think it's right they're doing that man like that. You know, it's probably an inside job, like I said. You know, but things happen. Things happen. That just let you know, though, man. That just let you see 100% that if they're gonna do that to him and the kind of dogs that he got caught with animal cruelty with, imagine what they think and how they feel about you, no matter how they smile in your face. You know? And like I said, this don't matter about your color, none of that, because you see this a white brother up here. They don't give a damn about that shit. 2001, not 2021, he caught the charge. 2001, animal cruelty charge, and I'm willing to bet you he had to pay a ticket. That's probably all he had was a ticket. And he looked at it back then like, you know, maybe I paid a $200, $300 ticket, whatever the ticket cost him, he paid it, and that was it. But that $300 ticket cost him that big old trophy right there we looking at, and that whole, you know, award and all that. And it's crazy, man. I hope he appeal it, and I hope he, you know, win it, because it ain't right. I don't even know for the sponsors to even, you know, try to disassociate themselves with him ain't even right. But yeah, man, let's get into some of this dog talk. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in now. Triple A, what's going on? What's going on? Now, I want to talk a little bit about the most important times of a puppy life, man, or a dog life. The first 3 months of a puppy's life. I'm gonna say first 3 months, and which is the first 12 weeks. Now, it's real important that when you're getting a puppy from these brothers or any brother or me or anybody, and this the thing, it's many ways to sell these dogs. You can just keep them healthy, worm them, keep them in the whelping box, and just sell them, and they healthy, But my thing is, because since I start doing the training and all kind of stuff like that, I know the different type of things a dog need to be around at a real young age. You know what I'm saying? And these things you do for these puppies in the first 3 months, you really can start beforehand. You really can start beforehand. In 3 months, I can if I only got one pit bull puppy and I got him from the time he's coming from the mother, by the time he get 3 months, if I'm training him, I can have him trained to do all kind of commands by that first 2 months to the third month. In 4 weeks' time, I guarantee you I can have him sitting, staying, maybe doing one or two more things in that 4 weeks. A dog is real impressionable. A dog can really pick up a lot of things during that time. Them first 3 months. Stuff like socializing them with people. If you're gonna think you're gonna have them around people anytime, and if you're a working dog, you're gonna be around people at some point. You want to have the dog where he's not scared of people. People always complaining about how their dog is people shy and this. You making these dogs people shy. Some of you brothers are. Some of the sisters are making your dogs people shy by not putting them around people. You'll be shy too. It ain't got nothing to do with how you breeding, your breeding technique. Don't be around people and you'll be people shy. That's just plain out and simple. So socializing them with people, man. And teaching a dog how to walk on a leash. That can start so young. You don't gotta have them dragging a leash or on a chain or anything when you teaching them how to walk on a leash. I had a dog that was about 10 or 11 months old that I got from Mr. Probably about 9 months, somewhere in that area. I forgot how old he was, but the one I got from Mr. Puckett. That motherfucker ain't know how to walk on a leash or nothing. So you know how that gonna turn out. Teach these puppies at a young age how to walk on a leash. Not be afraid of heights. That's why I go to a park where you might see the little kids playground park. And you got most little kids playground park got a little bridge you can walk across. And the bridge is kind of wobbly. See, you want your dog to walk across things like that. That shows that he got nerves. You building up his nerves. You seeing how strong his nerves are. Is he scary acting? Is he even paying attention to see how wobbly it is? Or is he shooting across, not worrying, not caring? It's all kind of things you can do with that puppy at a very young age. But I don't take my dogs out to these places until I got them vaccinated. As long as he got his vaccination, then I'll start doing all that stuff. But the first 3 months, that's why I like to get brothers their puppies early. When it's good enough for them to be away and be gone and be healthy with them. I like for them to get them as soon as possible because them first couple weeks and all that stuff matter, man. You know what I'm saying? From the flirt polling, like just that little bit of flirt polling I've been doing with the puppies that I got. It really helped. You know what I'm saying? When I do them and show them on the video next time doing all that stuff, they'll be pushing a whole lot harder. And all that stuff matters about a puppy. That's why I say, like, raise a champion. You know what I'm saying? You can't expect a dog to be a champion. I'm gonna tell you no lie. Some dogs will come off and you just bring them off the chain and a year and a half, 2 years old, and then they maybe make a champion for you, But at the end of the day, when you raise one, you have a better chance of getting it, no matter what bloodline you got. That bond shit we talking about and having a bond, that's automatic. You don't have to worry about that when you really doing things with your dog and really putting that work in with them, And the more work you put in with them, the more you're going to take it serious because you ain't want to be wasting your time. to introduce them puppies at that young age to a lot of things that they're going to be seeing throughout regular their daily lives, activities and different things that you may be doing. You know, just introduce them to them. Take them with you somewhere, let them get out and walk and all kind of stuff. You know, and later on down the line, you won't have a dog that's scared of this noise, scared of that noise, scared when these people start stomping and making and talking loud, scared when they're doing this. You have a dog that's just chilling and looking at all that stuff like it's regular, you know, everyday activities. Now, the one thing I did want to touch on real quick, food aggression. Some brothers like when they dogs and they puppies, where they puppies rather get to scrapping over food. Me, I don't like that. And this is the thing I say, food aggression can be a hazard if you don't cut it out. You know, because sometimes you gotta really be, I'm gonna say, have that dog area under control movement. You know, because it can be, like I always say, it can be a time then a younger person or anybody going next to that dog when he eating, the dog can see something on the ground that you don't actually see, but he see it and he's going to try to get it, and you walking in between him and the food. You know, it's just kind of chicken bone or something somebody left on the ground or something. What's going on with you, Tony? Yes, sir. Food aggression, man. I think it's one of the worst things to do with a game dog. I think a game dog, if you bred right, you shouldn't have to worry about trying to get them mean and get them mad and all that type of stuff. You know, I just feel like that's a false aggression. You know, I mean, if you hungry, you're gonna fight over food. You know, but that don't mean you're gonna be the best working dog. That don't mean you're gonna be the best dog that for the whatever events you got them for. You know, I done heard well-seasoned, reputable dog men say they let theirs survival of the fittest. You know, whoever, you know, if you can eat, you can eat. If you can't get to the food or you can't get, the other dogs hogging it, then you just don't eat. You don't make it. That's how they pick out which dog's gonna be the top dogs. You know, at least the ones they keeping. But me myself, I don't go off that because I feel like if they bred right, they bred right. The same way I say about the steroid. If they bred right, they bred right. You know, that's the whole thing. That's the whole point of what I'm in this game for, to get what I'm trying to get off of breeding. I'm not trying to call up John Denver and see if he got something that can help me win this damn activity I'm going to. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like saying you got 20s and you got 19s, and everybody really think you got 20s, but when you go home, you know you really got 19s. You know, you really know you don't got a bulldog. Not speaking about the steroid, not speaking about that, because I have to have my other brothers up here on the panel to speak about that. But, if you gotta dwell on the other stuff, you don't got a bulldog. And food aggression, you should never want a dog. This is the thing anybody should be doing when they got a puppy. Taking that dog food and put in the dog food by your dog while he eating. And let the dog eat out your hand and the dog food at the same time. That should be one of the things you do no matter what else you do with that dog. Take your hand and feed him out your hand. Let him eat that food out your hand. No growling, no none of that. He shouldn't have to feel like he got to fight to eat, I mean, we may have to fight for money, but fighting to eat is a whole different story. And man, listen, in my opinion, that don't really prove that your dog really tough. That just show that he trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? I think, if you're gonna rely on the game, it need to be bred in them. And you don't gotta worry about the food part. I think when you got a dog that's fighting over food, when they get older, it's gonna be more of a hazard. See, it's gonna look cool and all that shit when they 2 months old and they fighting and all that type of shit over the food and different things, and you trying to show people, it's gonna look cool then to you. But when that dog get to be a grown dog, now you ain't got to get right up on them with the dog food. You can just start coming towards them, and you can start hearing them growl. Somebody might hand him some food one day, try to hand it to him. He ain't never, showed he gonna bite when somebody hand him something and get the hand bit off. It's just more of a risk, at the end of the day when the dog get grown from trying to see something that look cool when it's young, and it don't prove nothing as far as what you breeding or what you got. It don't even prove like, because he taking all the food from the rest of the puppies. That don't mean he gonna be the best puppy in the litter when they at the end of the day. Like I always say, it's a few things that come into factor. Where this puppy go at? This one that's being the bully. If he's gonna be the best in the litter at the end of the day, where he gets sold to, how his owner gonna treat him, how is he even built genetically anyway? Was he genetically gonna be the best one? Is he throughout his life, is he getting the same treatment as the other dogs? All that stuff gonna matter. Yeah, Trevor, man, we got 700 dogs and cats over there, man. They ain't bull jiving over there, buddy. They got every animal control truck in California down on that damn road. I ain't bullshit. And see, at that 12 weeks and that 3-month-old mark, that's the age your puppy learn to follow your voice, learn to and learn to obey in different things. That's a real important age, man. If you had the first 6 months to say, oh, I gotta spend a certain amount of time with them, and then I gotta put them up, let them sit up for a minute. Or you want to get the first few months in, and then if you want to say 5 or 6 or 4, 5, 6, put them on a chain or something, or put them. It's important then, but it's very important in the first 3 months. And I'm telling you, y'all brothers that got them dogs that scared of people, y'all really need to start taking these dogs at 4 weeks old, 6 weeks old, at 7 weeks old, 8 weeks old, giving them hands-on activities with humans, and see if this dog gonna be people shot in. I know how brothers raise these pit bulls. That's why I'm not gonna hold back off of you. I'm not gonna cut this slack on you. I know how brothers raise these pit bulls. You put them on chains and you leave them there. So a dog that will get anxiety sometime for wanting to be around his owner, not as bad as the Malinois, but they may get anxiety from wanting to be around their owner. Why wouldn't he go into a shell when he's only getting fed? He's getting fed and he's getting water. But when it comes to human activity, these dogs are domesticated animals, which means they're supposed to be around humans. The dog's supposed to have a companion, regardless. So when you get them and you feed them and you thinking, oh, that's your dog, but y'all not linked as one. Like I said a long time ago, me and my dog be linked as one when we went into the square back in the days. We stepped in there, it was one team. One movement. But if you ain't got that connection, because you just leaving them on the chain and feeding them and giving them, got them looking good, but that connection ain't there. And you can feed one, and you can, like I said, you can feed them good and you can give them water. But if you ain't spending no time with that dog and taking them out and walking them time to time, you ain't got no real true connection compared to another brother that is doing the same activities. Now, if you ask me, raising a dog on food aggression is if you ask me, raising a dog on food aggression is worse than training a dog for protection, a pit bull. Because you raising them on food aggression, it's no training in that. You're going to have an untamed dog that's going to attack anything when they get close to that bowl. Brothers complaining about training for protection. Training, like Al Iverson say, training. We're talking about training for protection. But y'all are laughing key when you see a bunch of little puppies fighting over a bowl of food. I tell you, boy, ass backwards. You know? Now he get grown, he'll still fight over a bowl of food. He ain't gonna stay down there forever, but he'll fight over it. And when you know your dog will eat out your hand, man, that's a real comfortable feeling. You know how dominant your dog is. You know how how can I say it? How strong your dog is, and the power and things he can unleash. And you hold your hand out there and he eating out. You got food in the bowl, not just eating out the dog food out your hand. You got food in the bowl and you reach your hand down in the food and hold the food up and let him eat out your hand while he eating out the bowl at the same time. That's when you know the dog is at peace. He's not worried about nothing. You know, he good. He know you not gonna harm him. He know you not trying to take anything from him. So, you know, you won't ever have that problem. A lot of times, the dogs that growl over food be the dogs that growl unexpectedly in unexpected places. The ones that you have fighting over food and all kind of shit, when they get grown, that be later on somebody coming over there getting kind of close to them. Normally, they wouldn't even growl at a person. They just now they start growling at a person. Start just doing something out the blue. Have to watch them, man. That first 3 months, man, like I always say, that first 3 months is important. The whole life is important, to tell you the truth, especially when we're trying to get dogs to live to 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, 20 years old. The whole life gonna matter. Yes, sir, man. Y'all got any pedigrees you want me to look up? Drop them down as well. I do want to say this, man. I was looking at that dog, Alibaba, and I did not know that dog was that much Red Boy Jocko, Red Boy Jeep type dog. That dog is, if I'm not mistaken, he may have one or two dogs in the background that's not coming off of that type of stuff. But for the most part, every dog I seen in Alibaba background was a Red Boy Jocko or Red Boy or Jeep dog. I didn't know he was bred like that. And termite, I seen the termite stuff back there, which I would consider in your Red Boy Jocko stuff. But that joker was bred up. And I'm telling you, man, that Red Boy Jocko Jeep cross, it's a successful cross there, buddy. You know, I can't call it like that for all of them. But that Red Boy Jeep, Red Boy Jocko, however you want to call it, once it's crossed the right way, boy, look at here. Some bulldogs have come down from that cross. I done told y'all, eventually I'm gonna get me I'm gonna get y'all to have to turn me on to somebody too as well. Eventually I'm gonna get me a Red Boy Jeep, one of them Ramrod dogs. Red Boy Jeep. But it gotta be all that stuff. You know how my dog all walk them off? It gotta be all that Ramrod Jeep stuff. Dogs coming down off of him. Because I know it's not coming directly off of him. It's going to be off his offspring. So it got to be all dogs coming off of him and maybe another Red Boy dog. Now, one thing I'm gonna talk about before I get up out of here, because I ain't gonna be here too long tonight. One thing I am gonna talk about though, the difference between training a pit bull and training a Malinois. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about all the differences, but the first difference I'm gonna say, and it makes a difference from what brothers want to see. The pit bull is not a herding dog. All right. The same way they say a pit bull is bred to fight, well, Malinois or German Shepherd or Dutch Shepherd is bred to herd. Hundreds of years of dogs herding. Now, this natural herding instinct is what you see in these Malinois puppies or these Dutch Shepherd puppies or German Shepherd puppies, the working shepherds. You know, this natural herding instinct, what you see in them, is why they will protect you at 2 and 3 and 4 months old. They want to follow you around. That's why they picking up things so much faster. You know, and the pit bull, it's not that they stupid. It's not that they just have a whole different kind of complex. You know, the Malinois, he thinking herding. He thinking herding the whole time. You know, and the pit bull is not even thinking of none of that type of stuff. They got a short attention span when it comes to paying attention and trying to follow you around. When the Malinois and them type of dogs, they were bred to pay attention and follow things around, you know, and bred to stay with whoever they feel like their owner is, or whichever pack they watching or whatever, you know. So I wanted to speak about that, man, because we'll get these two dogs and we can train them, and both dogs can pick up things super fast. Pit will pick up things super fast. Malinois will as well. But training for your dog to protect you with the Malinois is almost natural. You can almost buy a Malinois puppy and no training in it at all. As long as you keep that dog with you and you know that's your main dog and you doing everything with that dog gonna protect you. You can't call them off and you can't send them at somebody and you can't do all that fancy stuff. But the Malinois is not gonna let nobody do anything to you just as a breed alone with no training in them. Now, if you got some bullshit crap somebody done put together and they calling it a Malinois and it's really not a Malinois, it's something else, then maybe that'll work. But a real deal Malinois or Dutch Shepherd or German Shepherd, they natural protectors. But a pit bull is not like that. You know, your pit bull might be going on 2 years old before he decide he want to bite somebody over you. When that Malinois gonna get teeth in his head at 6 or 7 months old, that's gonna be able to break the skin on a person, and it's gonna be able to hurt a person. So by 7, 8 months old, they showing real aggression as far as protection wise. A 7-month-old pit bull can't give you no kind of protection, but a 7-month-old Malinois can, because they're growing 2 times the speed of them pit bulls. When they 4 weeks old, they 2 times the size of them pit bulls at 4 weeks old. When them puppies, right now my puppy's 2 months old. A Malinois puppy would be 2 times that size at that age. You know, so it's a little difference when you're training them. You know, for brothers who out there who just want to know, it's a little difference. And a lot of people just, you know, with them mouths, I think you can really have fun with them. It's a type of dog that you could train to do anything with any dog. You could train to do anything, you know. But when you got them dogs that catch on real fast, it just make it a little more fun to do it. I said I'm gonna get me a Australian Shepherd one of these good old days to just do some training with them and train them far as I could train them with anything I could think of. An Australian Shepherd. Jason Clark, what's going on? What's going on? Appreciate everybody dropping in tonight, man, tuning in. I just wanted to show a little bit of news we got coming. Well, not a little bit of news, that American history, 700 dogs seized, 700 dogs and cats over there in California. You know, I wanted to speak about 3 months is the very most important time of a puppy's life. You know, so many different things that they can be going through, that know that they can get into. The same way you could screw a dog up in his first 3 months of his life. Imagine if you got somebody beating on them, scaring them with loud noises, doing all kind of stuff. Then you're gonna get a spook dog. Then you're gonna get a people shy dog. The males are more intense. Your Dutches is a little more laid back, but they got the same intensity as well. But they're a little more laid back than your males. And your German Shepherds is more laid back than all of them. Ain't no more souped up when it comes to a dog than a Malinois. If you ain't got no other dogs and you can give all your time to the Malinois as far as your dog time, then that's gonna be the dog for you. But if you can't give that dog all your time, and not saying he got to be the only one you deal with, but you're gonna have to give him most of your time if you got multiple dogs. They don't get it. Just look at all the tricks that people do with theirs and enjoy that. But if you want to spend some time with it, man, you can have them out there finding this, finding that, doing this trick, any trick you can think of in the book. Protection, obedience. Dutch Shepherds. I know one time AKC wasn't recognizing Dutch Shepherds because of from what they were saying, they have a lot of pit bull in their background when it comes to the Dutch Shepherds. And it's not proven, although we do know they do breed pit bulls in the KMPV dogs, but it's not saying, oh, they caught this man trying to breed pit bull in them, or they caught this man trying to do it. They just say they know that the Dutch Shepherd is a whole bunch of breeds combined to make a super dog. That's what AKC screaming. And they may recognize them now because this is a while ago when I tried it. Yeah, man. I'm reading over some notes real quick. James Nelson, what's going on with your brother? How you doing tonight? I told y'all, man, I'll go live. I'm gonna be going live. I just really can't plan it right this second. I just gotta go live when I can go live, The little jokers got me running. I'll snap back in a minute. Yes, sir, man. Big shout out to all the brothers and sisters that got them an old family Southern Red over the past week, which is some of the best Southern Red Boy Jocko blood in the world. Now I say the, I say some of the best Red Boy Jocko that originated in this area. That we ain't imported it. It was grown here in this area. And this is the same blood that's from this area. One imported, nothing wrong with getting imported in from somewhere else. We done had Mr. Bass. We done had Mr. Bass family up here talking. which is the red boy. We done had David Tant, yard man up here, that did some yard work for him up here talking. That's your grand champion yellow. We just ain't had none of Mr. Chavis people up here talking about none of Mr. Chavis dogs, and that's what I've been looking for the longest. I see a couple brothers or sisters get down in the comments and say they can't have Mr. Chavis, but can't ever get nobody to come through with an interview to give us any stories about any of the Mr. Chavis dogs. We don't got no stories about none of them dogs. Hey, Jason said, hey, Jason, you asked me which one was more tense earlier, the Mal or the Dutch. But I tell you what, you mix the pit bull with them and get you a bull herder, that's going to be a whole nother type of dog. That's why they put that pit bull in them Dutch Shepherds and Malawi's in them KMPV leagues overseas or in Europe and getting them dogs to go to the military and different things. That's why they put pit bull in it, because the pit bull can take a beating. They need the dogs that can stay there and take an ass whipping. And the pit bull brings that into it. They're not worried about the tenacity. They get the tenacity from the Malawi's and the Dutch Shepherds and all that type of stuff. What they getting from that pit bull is that heart to stay there. You know, slap me with stick 20 times, I ain't letting go. You know, beat me with this, sling me all around the room, I'm not letting go. You know, that's what the pit bull bring to the session. You know, and then another thing the pit bull bring is he bring good looking dog. When you breed a Malinois with a pit bull, you get a good looking damn dog. He don't take away from the look of the dog. You get a damn good looking dog. It's just the type of dog I don't think you should just breed just to sell people pets and stuff like that. I think you need to have somewhere for each one of them puppies to go to if you're gonna make that breeding. That's just my opinion. That's why I don't really make the breeding like that, because yeah, I keep one to do some training with, but then I got a whole litter I need to get rid of. And I mean, any kind of dogs you just let anybody get. Oh yeah, Trevor. It's a lot of people that feel just like that. And I feel like you should cross the pit bull in nothing, because we see how that turns out when you cross the pit bull into other breeds of dogs. We see how it turns out all the time. But it's a breed of dog called a bull herder. And that breed is created by a pit bull mixed with a Malinois or a pit bull mixed with a Dutch Shepherd. It's called bull herder. It's the actual dog. And that's what it is. It's a Malinois mixed with a pit bull. But they use these pit bulls. Even the dog that caught Osama bin Laden, he was a KMPV style dog. You know, when you get them KMPV style dogs, them dogs coming from Europe, they liable to have pit bull in them, Saint Bernard in them, Rottweiler in them, whatever they took to make that dog a super dog. And it's a reason they put them dogs in them. You know, you won't be able to tell that they're in them. The dog gonna look just like a pure Malinois or pure Dutch Shepherd, but they're gonna have it in them, and they're gonna tell you they got it in them. They're not gonna hide it and be like, oh, they're trying to sneak it or something. When you do the research on where the dog come from, you'll figure all that stuff out. But they putting that pit bull in them because that pit bull gonna stay. When they have an assailant who can beat the dog off of them, he can beat the dog off of them, a full-blooded Malinois. When you got that pit bull mixed with it, he can't beat him off of him. That pit bull go to grabbing, and then the Malinois, all his traits kicking in. He can beat, but that pit bull gonna just hold on to him. But I can breed my Malinois to a full-blooded Malinois, a Dutch Shepherd, and I can give the puppies away to good pet owners. Even though they need to understand the breed, I can give them dogs away to real pet owners. With them bull herder dogs, pit bull Malinois mixes, I just don't feel comfortable giving them to regular pet owners. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't feel comfortable. I wouldn't breed. That's why I haven't made that breeding, like I said, yet. Because I got to do something with the rest of the litter. And I just don't feel comfortable. I have to find a trainer that want it. You want one of these? You want one of these? You want one of these? You talking about a dog that's automatically gonna start biting at 5 months old, 4 or 5 months old. Automatically he gonna start biting, trying to bite. Now he got pit bull mixed in with him. You know, so that type of dog need a real responsible owner. What about them Eli dogs, man? Y'all brothers know about them Eli dogs today. They still stopping in 45 minutes? Them Eli dogs? I'm just asking, man. No, I'm just messing with y'all boys. Damn, man, what's the latest? The latest bad Eli breeding, Eli cross. I'm gonna cross me up some stuff in a minute. I'm just trying to figure out a few things as far as I don't want to get too much of that Eli. I could have a 4-hour dog over here, throw that Eli up in there. That shit knock me down. The damn motherfucker knock me down to an hour and a half. Put too much Eli and then knock me down up under an hour. Oh man, he used to go 4 hours. He barely make an hour now. His puppies won't. I know them Eli boys talking trash now. You know I just be messing with y'all boys, man. Like I always say, salute to all my Eli brothers out there. You know, and I'm like I said, I'm serious about this though. I am still curious how in the hell y'all managed to make a Mexican Eli and we ain't got no Mexican Bolio, no Mexican Yellow, no Mexican Jeep, no none of that. How y'all managed to make a Mexican Eli in y'all strand? Y'all got the regular Eli and y'all got Mexican Eli. But the brothers with the rest of the bloods, we ain't make us no Mexican Yellow. And you can't tell me none of them Spanish brothers over there in Mexico ain't been bulldogging with that Grand Champion Yellow shit back in the days. And the Bolio stuff and the Jeep stuff and all that other stuff back in the days. Why we ain't got no Mexican Yellow? How them Eli boys do it, man. Y'all boys ain't got no nice white tab pedigrees. That's dogs that's out here right now. White tab pedigrees that we can look at. White tab or that tramp dog I'm talking about, that ramrod tramp dog from Modern Dogs. Just the pedigrees I'm speaking on. I seen a brother today that had some good red pirate pedigree that I seen. You know, I ain't really heard too much about the red pirate dogs. Only thing I did hear one time that it was people aggressive, but I mean, you get people aggressive dogs and all them damn dogs. Vance 305 say the brothers in Mexico didn't use the red boy. I be damn. That's why the hell they wasn't winning then. Well, I mean, an Eli can win against an Eli. An Eli win against another Eli. They won't never know nothing about the 45-minute shit. Them boys kept that red boy stuff from them fellas. Let them get all them black dogs and bring them back over here and lose that money. Now I don't care what you say. Who said that shit is now? Vance. Hey Vance, I don't care what you say, dog. Some of them Mexican brothers had some red boy dogs back in them damn late 80s and early 90s. And was breeding them up. Man, I know some good bulldogs in Mexico because I got a couple of them in my book that I put out not too long ago. A couple of them Spanish dogs. I know some good dogs in it. I'm just wondering why we don't got no Mexican yellow. I can have my yellow and I can have the Mexican yellow running two strains of the same dog, but different ways, two different families. Mexican yellow and the regular yellow. Mexican Jeep, regular Crenshaw Jeep, then you got the Mexican Jeep. I don't understand how it stopped with the Eli shit. That's some kind of Eli scandal going on. The boys always trying to stay one step ahead of us. Hey, I tell y'all too, man, when Vance, you was talking about that 4 hours and 30 minutes. I tell you, I dropped that link down in the chat for anybody that want to dispute me that dog, if that dog lost in 4 hours and 30 minutes, if he lost, he ain't a dog to breed to, or she ain't a dog to breed to if they was to live the next day. 4 hours and 30, I don't care how he lost. That's more than the bulldog there. That's a monster. Trevor Lady say he gonna show me the Mexican yellow. I want to see it, and I know it's brothers in Mexico that had the yellow stuff, but they never coined the name Mexican yellow dogs. Like how the brother got the Mexican Eli. He may not have even named his own dogs Mexican Eli dogs. There's other brothers that's calling it Mexican Eli. The Cardina stuff and the different things. They calling it Mexican Eli. But them Mexican brothers, they don't know what they was missing, boy, if they ain't had them some Grand Champion yellow back in the early 90s and the mid 90s. They ain't had no yellow back then in the late 90s. Now I know they had it in the late 90s because Mayday was running around. I'm surprised most Spanish brothers don't got the Mayday dogs down in the Mexico area than they do now. Oh yeah, Trevor. I want it to be something different, but long as it's going back to Grand Champion yellow. Long as it's going back to Grand Champion yellow, top and bottom, like how Owl's on is doing, that's cool. But it don't gotta be bred nowhere near like how Owl's on is. As long as it's going back to yellow when you get to the end of his pedigree. Then it'd be, Mexican yellow or Mexican Jeep. And it ain't like we ain't got different flavors of these dogs. We got more flavors. Some of these bloodlines got more flavors than the next bloodline got. We got Mexican Eli, and then you got your regular Eli stuff, but you got different breeders who had Eli. Clemens had his, and Boudreaux had some, and different people had, Garner running his little stuff or whatever. But Red Boy Jocko, you got a lot of different families out there, brothers. Mayday stuff, Mayday this kind of Mayday, that kind of Mayday. And I'm gonna say this too now. For Mexico to be how it is, you don't got no matches from Mexico how compared to how you got matches from Europe that you be seeing on them websites overseas. I believe it was a little too lawless over there, man. I know for it to get down how it get down over here. I believe they bulldog over there, but they ain't bulldogging freely like how we bulldog, over here. Over there in Europe, they bulldogging over there because they got some laws and you get arrested for certain things. They bulldogging. Over there in Mexico, man, them cartels running all that stuff, man, and different things, man. You can't even, your corner man ain't even comfortable coming over there when he bulldog. Got so much money on the line. Then you got to worry about winning. You won the money. Now you got to leave the city. You hope nobody don't follow you. That they ain't got nothing to do with the match. They just hang around looking at the money that's floating around. Now you can't tell me if word don't get around that the American boy bringing that grand champion yellow dog, he done kicked 4 damn dogs' ass in Mexico. He done took back a whole bunch of money. Somebody ain't gonna try to get me on one of them trips. Going back to America with that money in my pocket. You know damn well they're gonna try to get me. See, y'all a little too gangster over there, Mexico brothers. My Mexico brothers. Y'all a little too gangster for the dog game. Motherfucker won't be comfortable out that motherfucker, man. Hey, now, if we go back to the 70s, man, and I'm quite sure if we go back to Mexico, it's gonna be even the same way, because their laws were a whole lot less stricter back then as well. You go back to the 70s, man, just think about how them brothers didn't have to worry about getting in no trouble. I know none of that. You had the sheriffs at the damn shows, the police officers, the state troopers, the judges, all these folk out here at these dog shows. You ain't had to worry about none of that stuff. Shit, what can you imagine a sheriff being down with this shit that's going on now that he's seeing over the past 5 years, all this buzz that's going on, and the sheriff saying, oh, I want to be down with that. He must be ready to lose his job. He might not turn you in, but he damn sure ain't gonna be out there with you. And back in them days, man, shit. Like you say, Vance, you had the police and everything and be out there at the show. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all brothers and sisters too long here tonight, man. I'm just coming to drop that news and chat with y'all brothers a little bit. Trying to hit y'all up at least once a day on the live tip. Get in the habit of doing that at least. Like I always say, man, any questions you got for the training, any questions you got for pedigree or bloodline, when it comes to these dogs, anything, any kind of question, drop and hit me. Let me know in a message. Let me know in a comment or any kind of way you can reach me. You know, when I speak about it. You know, if you want to come talk about it on the live or pre-recorded, let me know as well, and we'll get it set up. You know, like I always say, any breed, anything, any topic you want to talk about with any breed. In actuality, I don't even care what kind of pet it is. It don't even got to be a dog. If you want to talk about it, you want to vent about it and get your shit off about whatever kind of pet you got and tell folk about it, hey, come up here on the channel, man. It is what it is. Which dog in the pick hey, Donald, you talking about a dog in the pic in my profile pic? If you talking about that dog, she in between 45 and 50 pounds. I'll put on the scale tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'll put on the scale tomorrow and I'll let you know. You know, she's still trying to get them dang on titties and stuff down, coming off of pregnancy. But I'll let you know, because that, you know, that she'll walk around at that weight that you're looking at on the picture. But they produce dogs that's can be in the 60-some pounds. Her last litter was about 60-some pounds by the time they was a year old. Not all of them. It was a couple of them that was in their high 40s. Like YSL. You remember YSL that I had on my videos and in the book and stuff? I want to say she should be in her 50s. She should be in the high 40s, in the low 50s, maybe about 51. I ain't talking about match weight. I'm talking about this fat weight, about 50, maybe 49. Yes, sir, man. Now, when it comes to that Jeep, what strand of that Jeep should I stay away from? This might rub a couple brothers' feathers when y'all brothers start dropping the answers to that. What strand of Jeep should I stay away from when it comes to that Jeep stuff? There's a lot of it out there. And you got some brothers that's listening, that's waiting to hear what you got to say. What strand should I stay away from? The white tab, the black jack, the weird jack? It's a whole bunch of strands out there. It don't gotta be straight Jeep. It can be the Jeep Red Boy, you know, long as the Jeep is in at least 50%. But yeah, man, definitely ain't gonna keep y'all here too long. Night Friday. I usually don't rock on live tonight. I just wanted to come on real quick, check my fellas out, check the ladies out. Give y'all that news. Tell you, and let you know that them folk don't care about you change your life. They don't care about none of that. You abused that dog back 20, 30 years ago. You was a damn animal abuser. That shit right there really made me look at things certain kind of way when it come to how they look at you, man. It's just, you know, them folk look at you like you the same motherfucker that you was 30 years ago. Big guy, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? And big shout out, man, to all these brothers with the nice looking puppies out there across the world, across the country. Red Boy Jocko, Red Boy Bolio, Mayday, Jeep, Eli Puppies, Bolio, Rascal. Brothers got all kind of shit out there. Big salute to Track Life Kennel, holding it down like he always be holding it down. Operator money, you know. I tell you, Track Life, I got to get you up here one of these days, man. I want to talk about them vegetables, them fruits and stuff, man. Man, I'm looking at, I'll tell them brothers as well. I was looking at the Alibaba dog, because I was hearing a lot about that dog over the past 10 years ago. Maybe not that long, but a little while ago, and you just don't hear nothing about it no more. And I was looking at his pedigree, and I see how he bred. Man, I don't know what they bred him to. I didn't see a whole lot of Mayday dogs in his offspring list as far as the mama dogs that they bred him to. But that dog would have made some hellified puppies bred with the right damn. He was Red Boy, Jocko, and Jeep. They could have bred him with a straight Jeep dog, straight Jeep, and that's gonna link in with the other little bit of Jeep they got in there already. They could have bred him with a straight Jeep. They could have really bred him with anything. The way he was bred. I'm gonna say he the dog that's gonna be on the milk cart for this month right here. He the hero dog that's on the milk cart, the fallen soldier. He don't make the Hall of Fame because something just fell off with him. I don't know what it is. I can't put my hand on it. He was like the going rock star at one point, and then boom. You don't hear nothing about his offspring, his grandkids, none of that stuff. And the way he's bred, man, I would love to have a puppy off of him. Have had one, rather. Yeah. Ronald said he saw a judge out there at one of Ozzy's shows. Oh yeah, man. I'm gonna say you probably would have seen a judge or that type of law enforcement officer at a show up until the late 90s, probably. Maybe the mid 90s. About the mid 90s, you probably would stop seeing them. Start having too many different kind of people out there. And everybody can't keep their mouth shut. Like, I wonder what these brothers in this modern day pit bull community, they just want to slang words around and slang this around and slang that around. You couldn't have no police officer coming to buy no dog from them, or no judges buying no dog from them, or none of that type of stuff buying no dog from them, because they have something to say. The dog game now is not even built like that. Them was the good old days. For any brother that went through them days. And to that brother that keep asking me about proving stuff, I keep telling you, my brother, I don't know that proving talk. I don't know nothing about being proven. All I know is I'm proving to my dogs that I'm the type of owner that they need. That's all I know I'm proving. Other than that, I don't know nothing about nothing else being proven. I don't do that type of talk. I prove that I can be the owner that they need, and that's all the proving that we got to be doing. Now, let me ask y'all brothers down in the chat something, maybe. If you got a dog hall of fame and you was going to induct one dog tonight, and it had been one of these two dogs, which one would it be between Homer and Sandman? The Sandman dog and Homer. Which one would you induct into the Hall of Fame between them two dogs? One, I think, lost a buck, STP buck, and I think the other one lost the Jeep. I wonder why Mr. Ozzy put Homer down when he lost. Why he ain't stopped breeding him when he lost? Like these brothers do nowadays. There's a lot of dogs in a lot of these pedigrees that lost, and the owner kept on breeding them, kept on going with his program, and we got the dogs off the dogs today. But yet we put all our dogs down when they give you a bad sign. At least we say we do. We say a loss is a loss. We say what occurs occur. And I can't get nobody up here. My man said he seen one for 4 hours and 30 minutes. I can't get one person up here to come up here on the live. I'll drop the link down in the chat. They tell me that a dog that went for 4 hours and 30 minutes and lost ain't worth breeding to. And that's me saying that even if he jumped the box, even if he ran, I don't give a damn how he lost. Jumping the box at 4 hours and 30 minutes ain't nothing but a survival tactic. You tried one way, now it's time to try another way. Now, I want to find another brother now. And like I said, I could be wrong. I want to find another brother that's going to tell me that a 15-minute cur, a 30-minute cur is the same thing as a brother that lost in 4 hours and 30 minutes. No. This is a friendly conversation. If a cur, a 30-minute cur and a 4 hour or 30-minute cur will be the same thing. Can't be, man. At least that's just my opinion. Yellow One, what's going on? Man, y'all boys gonna be having to hit Yellow One up in a minute for that hog meat. Yellow One gonna have that hog meat in a minute. All right, if I got an old schooler or two maybe in the building, you know, old schoolers. Let me ask y'all this, man. Which one of y'all started that shit up that I was talking about when you say, if there's any police officers here, anybody with the Humane Society here, please say something now. Which one of y'all started that up and think they gonna pop out and say, hey, I'm over here? Who started that up? Which dog man started it up? Because it got passed around the whole dog community. I don't think that shit was gonna ever work, man. You know, I could be wrong, and a brother can get up and explain when it did happen, and it did work. I don't think that shit was gonna ever work. If you undercover cop, come out right now, and we're gonna stop doing what we're doing. And I done told you now, in Eric days when we was dealing with Crossroad, this is in the 90s when they said that the agents were acting like dog men. So you know they was rolling their dogs. And you know they knew the little slang and everything, the little saying at the beginning of the match and all that. One thing I know, man, back when that was being said, we didn't know how good we had it back then. You know, times change. You gotta move. You gotta change with the times. You know, but one thing we can't change is what how it happened back then. The only thing I really regret, from now to back then, is I didn't respect the bloods that I had in my hand the way I should have respected them looking back on it now. You know, had all the top blood. Like I was telling you, getting dogs from Mr. Garner as a teenager, getting dogs, these red boy dogs, these dogs straight from Yellow, them dogs as a teenager, motherfucker damn, and having these tab dogs and these dogs, Midnight Cowboys, straight from, like these dogs coming directly from the sources, especially when we were getting them from Crossroad. And not respecting the game and saying, oh, let's save up something, breed up something, save up these, breed these, save these. Man, shit. You look back on that shit now, man. All that money you spending, you thinking you just, it ain't nothing because you can get it right back. The money-wise, you can get it right back. Boom. Spending it, fucking up these dogs, screwing up the dogs. Just like I tell you about the ones I screwed up from Mr. Claude Puckett. You know, instead of sitting on them and waiting and taking them and letting them like fine wine just get older until they ripe. You know, want to do like a child, want to get out there and want to roll them right then, you know, and screw up good dogs. So when I look back on it, I'm like, damn, boy, messed these up, bred these the wrong way, didn't wait on these puppies long enough. Had these Mayday dogs bred up with my Sambo stuff. I remember one female I had, she was of Mayday's son. She was off Pee Wee, and I bred her back to, she was off Pee Wee, and matter of fact, her and Sambo had the same mama, different daddies. And I bred her back, and the puppies, she had the puppies, but she was acting like her stomach was hurting, and she stayed curled up the whole time, didn't even feed them. Like I always tell y'all brothers, back in them days, I was a performer. I didn't have a whole lot of luck in breeding. There was one litter that I had back then that I did like how I do my puppies now. Stay in the house with them and make sure they live and be healthy. That puppy I bred Sambo with, I bred him with another daughter of Yellow son of Toe Jam, one of Toe Jam daughters, and I bred it back to Sambo. And she had 2 puppies. Shit. I kicked the club to the curb that month. Everything. Shit, I'm standing here with my puppy. And made sure that one of them ended up dying and one of them lived. The one that lived, I named him Crossbow. He had too much of that lay down shit in him. That breeding right there, I can't say it would have been a good breeding if I would have sat on him and just wait and see how it would turn out in the long run. But as far as a young adolescent dog and doing the stuff, trying to fit into the Sambo shoes, he just had too much lay down in him. He laid down so long on one dog, the dog quit. He just laid down on the dog. He stayed from the bottom side, and this is playing from the bottom. The dog just stopped fighting, and then start wandering around and shit, trying to wander around. And I won the show. I won the show because he left that square. You know, and my dog was still trying to get to him. But he just laid down that damn long. I ended up letting one of my homeboys get him. Now I bred Bo with a termite, red boy Jocko, a termite female. That one made some pretty good puppies. I had some good ones off that one. I took a couple of them out and I rolled one of the males. I forgot what I called him. I rolled one of them with my homeboy dog. And I think his dog ended up dying, or either mine ended up dying after the match, one or the other. And then I had another one. He was like a buckskin red nose color. I ended up selling him to my homeboy. Now, some of the baddest puppies off Sambo, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, was off one of my homeboys' dog, who we don't really know what their dog was off of. It was just a black and white dog. And I don't even know if he had no game dog papers like how we got the ADBA papers. That dog made the best damn puppies off Bo. I ain't gonna lie to you. Them puppies was big. They looked like Bo, but they were different colors. He was like a buckskin yellow color. They was brown, black mask, like Mayday style. Matter of fact, he had a couple of them brown, black masks. Black and white. Yeah, hey, Ronald, I agree with you, dog. You know, I'm not gonna say it didn't happen, but a dog that went for 4 hours, I want to, your putback game gotta be together, on the other side. You ain't gonna just go no 4 hours and then talking about you just gonna walk away and put them back on the chain. No, man. You gonna know the difference from the moment that dog realized he ain't got to fight no more. The match over and you done big shaking him up and cheering and all that shit. And the moment he realized he ain't got to go back over there to the other dog, his whole body gonna change. Now, I ain't gonna lie, man. I like a lay down dog if they smart. If it's a smart dog, I like a lay down dog if they know how to do it. Bo knew how to do it, and I knew how to read how he do it. That's the thing I say, be one with your dog. We done did that thing so much. I knew if they came out and he laid down on the dog, I knew that he wasn't gonna work himself out on the dog. He was smart enough to know, let me lay around, work from the bottom, chew that neck a little bit from the bottom, work from the bottom. He think I'm laying down, but really I'm trying to get him. And then he'll check him about 15, 20 minutes, go by, he'll check him, he'll flip over on his feet, see what kind of strength they working with. If they still bucking and acting super strong, he'll go back to laying down on them again. Yes, sir, Ronald, man. I'm talking about in the late 90s, dog. Right now, talking about nothing but old school stuff. We don't play that in the modern day time. Yes, sir. And that's why I always say, man, what is sometimes we may get confused from a game dog from a smart dog. A dog that done been ran through the mud and he ain't never lost. He's super smart. He ain't never lost and he get rolled every other weekend. Man, it's hard to beat a dog like that when the right man get him. Yes, sir. Man, I be wanting brothers to come up here that got bulldog stories from the 60s. If you got any stories from the 50s, that's a plus as well. We love to hear the stories the further they can go back. We got brothers that old, but brothers that got stories from the 70s, the 80s, 90s. I don't want no stories. I never invite nobody to give me no stories from no modern day stuff because we don't talk about that modern day stuff when it comes to these bulldog stories. That's why I say, Brother Ronald and Brother Vance, that's why I always tell them, I say, yo, don't get mad with me because it can't ride the school bus. The school bus, you had been back there. You know what I'm saying? School bus ain't for these modern day brothers. You had to been back there. And see, I'm like this right here, man. I know it's a few things that make the difference in the dog. I can have Sambo right now today, but he wouldn't be the bulldog that he was back then if I had him right now today. Because of the things that I know about, just about how things are, I wouldn't be moving the same way. You know, everything play a part in that situation when you have a great dog or a person have a dog worth talking about years later. All that shit play a part, man. The how your area was built up. Things are, the woods are being cut down. This is being built up. All that stuff matter. Back when I had Bo, I was reckless when it come to looking back on it and saying, "Oh, let's go do this or let's go do that." I would never do nothing to get in trouble. But what I mean, reckless, you know, we'll do it anywhere that we had felt like we was on the low at. And see, I came up in the era where they start kind of, you know, getting a little more serious. In the late 90s and, you know, the mid 90s and the late 90s, they start getting a little more serious and they want to charge you a little bit more, you know, but it was still a misdemeanor. But them brothers from the 80s, you know, man, they gonna have, y'all brothers gonna have some hellified stories. Like we haven't had nobody to give us any stories, nobody channel about doing any kind of going to war with none of Mr. Kobe dogs. Getting out there and shaking the bushes with none of Mr. Kobe dogs directly from Mr. Kobe off a dime or off of this dog and straight off of this dog with nothing but Kobe dogs in the top and bottom. Nothing but Mr. Heinzel stuff. Or the red boy, old family red dogs. And let me ask anybody this. Anybody can answer this question for me. If a dog is a red nose, does that mean somewhere in his background, somewhere he got at least 1% of some old family red type dogs in him? Or red nosed dogs in him? Whether he came off 2 black dogs or not. You know, if he's a red nose, does that mean he got some of the old family red dogs in him from back in the days coming from Ireland, the old red-nosed dogs? Brother Yellow One said, yep. No matter what bloodline he is, you know. It ain't got to say it on the pedigree when you look in the first 8 generations. It might say this, Boudreaux this, or this so-and-so this, or Garner this. But when you go back, you're going to see an old family red dog somewhere. Yes, sir, man. Can Brother Yellow One said, can 2 red noses throw a black nose? Do I think 2 red noses can throw a black nose? I mean, I don't know, brother. I believe it's possible. You know, I believe it's possible because you know he got the black nose genes in him, but I don't know, man. Like I'm just gonna tell you the truth though. If I like when I bred Mellow Yellow and Fletcher together, that's brother and sister. Both of them red nose. They mama and their daddy red nose, but they daddy, Fletcher daddy and Mellow Yellow daddy, or their granddaddy rather was a buckskin black mass. Their granddaddy was. So if they had a buckskin black mass puppy, I probably really wouldn't be alarmed. You know, but I kind of maybe be a little shocked because I ain't never really see it happen like that. But some of them brothers that been breeding for 20 years and 30 years, the same line of dogs, you could probably ask them and they could probably tell you. I'm gonna tell you what I ain't seen yet, and brothers been talking about it since I've been a teenager. A black red nose. I've never seen a black red nosed dog in my life. And I've been hearing about it. Oh, a black red nose, a black red nose. I would love to see one. That's got to be something real pretty. But I think with two red noses you can get a solid color dog or a solid color black nose dog. Especially it just depends on what color their mama and daddy is. Because there might be two red noses and one of their mama and daddy might be a whole different color. And they just came out red nose just off of some genetics that was in the blood deep down inside. And their mama and daddy might be, two regular colors or cow patch color or something. And they came out red nose, and now they puppies might come out like the grandmama them. So it may happen. Have any of y'all ever seen a black dog come off two red noses? A black dog, a black puppy in the litter? Or two red noses? Because we done seen two black dogs make a red nose puppy. But have we ever seen two red noses make a black puppy? All the puppies came out red except for one black one. But all the puppies came out black except for one red one. You know that happened all the time. That happened all the time. And them dogs, man, I know one thing. It's two colors that I know is real strong. It's them red-nosed dogs and them black dogs. They'll take over your yard if you start breeding them and you keep breeding them, like, going back to them same, predominantly same colors. Them black dogs, them red noses, I don't know about them brindles. They'll fade away on you. They'll change to different colors. But them black and them red noses, yeah. Hey, Tony, you say nah never to the two red noses making a black nose dog? That was you speaking about? And I tell you what, though, truthfully, man, sometimes you never damn know, man. The way these dogs be bred up today's time, you'll breed 2 dogs and you get a color that you probably wasn't supposed to get, but you got it somehow or another. I mean, it just is what it is. I tell you what, I know one thing, a solid color like a black or a brown or something, you liable to get any color. You liable to get red nose, cow patch, buckskin, black. You liable to get any color from one of them kind of dogs. I tell you one thing, it's some fishy shit went down about yellow. I don't know what it is, but it's something fishy went down about yellow with them brindle dogs. It wasn't that many brindle dogs came off yellow. That damn, I mean, of that red boy shit. That damn JR dog and that damn AAA. It wasn't too many more brindle ones that didn't have brindle mamas. It's something that went down fishy about that back in the days, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. I don't know how them brindle dogs came up in there. We'll get Mr. Tan up here one of these good old days. Mr. Tan, you heard what they said about you? You heard what they said about you? Man, hey, Red Boy red, Yellow John red, Miss Jocko them brown color, AAA Tiger Stripe, JR Tiger Stripe. None of our Red Boy Jocko dogs are produced Tiger Stripe dogs. I can breed them Big John dogs left and right, right and left, with 5 different damn stud dogs, or 5 different ones, of Buddy, of Quick, of Wife, Wrangler, of different ones. I ain't gonna get no damn brindle dog. I may come out with a brindle red nose, maybe a throwback dog, but I ain't gonna get no brown brindle. But that damn Tent had that magic touch, boy, over there. Tent had that magic touch. Make the tail disappear and all if you need it. Hey, Yellow One, hey, truthfully, man, he might be never even heard that the interview with his worker up there. He may not have even heard it, you know. But I mean, hey, it's the channel to come up on if he gonna come up on any of them, because I mean, we the ones got the other information. You know, it don't really make a sense if he goes somewhere else and do it, and then if he already heard this one. Now, if he haven't heard it yet, that's a different story. But if he heard it, shit, he gonna have to acknowledge it over there at least. Or that boy who was lying on the other video, that boy was lying on the other video that they made. He gonna have to say something about it. Or either come on over here. And the thing about it, if I do an interview with him, I'll respect him and ask him respectable questions. I wouldn't try to damn play him out or try to make him embarrass him. I know shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just ask some regular questions. Questions that everybody want to know. Why I'm definitely gonna ask him why he bred yellow for 3 years, and when he died 3 years, and these boys out here thinking they got yellow dogs. The ones that got them damn cane corsos and Presa Canary mix. I'm gonna ask him about that now. That might be why he don't want to come on my channel. I ain't gonna ask him about none of that other crazy stuff, with him and some of them other dog men from throughout the community. I ain't gonna ask him about none of that. That ain't my business. But I want to send a big shout out to that brother that gave me that interview, man. I want to send a big shout out to that brother. I really appreciate that interview, man. It really gave some light on how David Tant was doing with them dogs back in them days, and how he was handling business. And a lot of y'all brothers thought y'all was the golden key when it came to getting them Tant dogs, and Tant was meeting you on the side of the damn road, meeting you at other people's houses, and you thinking them in his house and different things, you know. And he didn't do everybody like that. Just some of the brothers, you know, just some of the brothers. And you had to hear it from somebody that was there. And that brother went through the last time when Tant went to jail, that brother went in that same situation in that. So you know he knew what he was talking about. And that shit he did with Grand Champion Yellow, that was before that brother even came around. He did that with Yellow in the early 90s. So Tant been on the shit. Hey, Ronald, I don't know if Red Nose is a recessive dilute or not. I'm not even sure, brother. You know what I'm saying? My research, I don't got the research for that right now. I do know one thing. They say the Red Nose came from Ireland, from them damn Dudley Terriers way back in the days. So that's the thing I don't really understand. Another thing either. If you take the bull and the terrier and make a dog, make the pit bull, how the hell did they have the dog called a Dudley Terrier in Ireland already, which was already the red-nosed American pit bull terrier, but it's not called a pit bull terrier? The same damn dog without making any crosses or anything. But I guess they would have kept the name Dudley Terrier on it and kept calling it the Dudley Terrier even here in America, but they screwed up because we call it the American Pit Bull now. That's why I tell y'all, my goal is to find a book with European history on this American Pit Bull Terrier. It ain't nothing. I told y'all, brothers. You know, I've been looking, and it shouldn't be this hard for me to find. I got European brothers and sisters all out there that be listening to me. You mean to tell me y'all can't give me no old school books that was made by European brothers like Mr. Richard Stratton back in the days? So we can do some reading up and read about dogs that we don't know nothing about. It ain't nothing, man. That's why I tell brothers, they can say what they want, but we some bulldogging motherfuckers over here in America. You know, that's why our laws is the way they is. We some bulldogging motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Now, Ronald say in the 70s he never saw a blue dog. Now, I can't speak about the 70s because, I ain't come around to 79. But I'm going to tell you, I did see some in the 90s. You know, now where they came from, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you where I did see some of them come from, the ones I seen. Some of them came from UKC because these was registered UKC. And I want to say one of them say Pit Bull, but I ain't 100% sure. But the other ones looked more like your bully type dogs, Staffordshire type shits. They had the blue stripes in them and all kind of stuff. Hey, Tony, I ain't see it. Delete your comment, dog. I ain't even see it. I ain't see it. Say nothing about it. Delete it. Hey, Vance. Boy, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You get me beat up saying that, boy. Pit bulls don't throw blues. Boy, I got some homeboys out there across the United States that, boy, boy, look at it, they're gonna try to ragdoll you. I'm gonna tell you like this, Advance. I don't know if pit bulls throw blues or not, but I done did shows showing Boudreaux dogs that came out blue color. Now, they was off black dogs, Don't get me wrong, they was all black dogs, and they didn't produce blue dogs. I always say that. When you find these blue game dogs, show me one that is producing blue, not one that came out blue, because some of these black dogs, they'll come out blue on you time to time when they bred super tight. But I'm talking about one that's producing blue offspring. Oh, okay, black red nose. You was talking about the black red nose. I ain't never seen one either, Tony, man. The boy been talking about it. Oh, got a black red nose. Got a black red nose. I've been hearing that since I've been a teenager. That's about like the gator dogs, man. It's a damn gator dog because it's a black pit bull. Motherfucker be pit and laugh. That's a gator dog. That's one reason I stayed away from them black dogs, man. Them boys getting them pit and laughs and start calling them gator dogs and all kind of shit. Man, I ain't want that shit. But yeah, man, as far as them pit bulls and blues, I mean, and you know, brother, this was the thing about it. Brother's gonna go back into some of that literature, and they're gonna show you different lines where people talking about a blue color dog. You see, that's the only thing about it. We can say, oh, the red boy don't make blues, or the Jeep don't make blues, or the Eli don't make blues, or the so-and-so don't make blues, but them boys will go back to it and find pictures where they talking about it, or articles where they talking about it, you know? And like I said, I showed y'all the picture of the blue dog that came off of Mr. Boudreaux stuff. And it was a blue silver color dog. And you can see it's still a game dog. But like I said, there's no blue offspring from it. But I'm surprised that nobody finessed that since the 90s. Everybody been chasing colors and colors and colors. I'm surprised ain't nobody finessed a yard full of game blue dogs. If they ain't paper pellet or whatever they did. But they ran it back into their dogs, and just to get that color and got, say, some hellified Jeep dogs, but they blue. Hellified red boy dogs, but they blue. I'm surprised like a motherfucker that nobody ain't done did that already. With the game dogs. It's some more hellified worse dogs being bred into their game dogs than some of them blue dogs that brothers could have bred into them and get that color into them. Some of them blue dogs is better than some of them other dogs that they out here bragging about. Blue color and the blue nose, Donald. Because you had a blue nose, but maybe be a white color or something like that. And that's another thing, see, when you got these dogs with the blue in their name, like Tony talking about down there. Now, one thing I did see, I seen a dog the other day I was looking at. His name was Blue something, and he was a black dog. I looked at his picture, and he was a black dog. You know, so that can trigger sometime. It can go both ways. It can be a blue dog, they naming it blue because it's blue, or it can be a black dog that they call him blue, or just any color dog that they call him blue. I know one thing though. If blue was a real color for the American Pit Bull Terrier, out of all these dogs that we breed, some of them be coming out blue. You know what I'm saying? There's no way we have to intertwine some other kind of breed of dog to get a blue dog if that color was original to the breed. You can breed a dog. You know, you might have red noses. You got black dogs. You got cow patch. You got the white dogs with the black spots on them, like Dalmatians almost, pit bull. You got all colors out there. And I'm talking about in the game dog families. You know? But you don't got no blues. Now you do got blue dogs out there, but you don't got the blues to where you can go to a yard and find you a family of blues coming down off this, or family of blues coming down off that. So it's got to be something kind of funny in the mix when it comes to that blue color, that silver color right there, you know. And you always see that when they say seal, you know, they always say the seal stuff when they talk about the dogs from back in the days and different things. You know, them brothers will go to saying that's the blue dogs they talking about. Hey, like John Denver say, man, a lot of brothers do that. A lot of brothers do that, and a lot of brothers did that in the past. They had dogs so black because of that phrase. He's so black, he look blue. And they call him blue. Many of them old school dog brothers in them pedigrees, when you see blue this and blue that, they had black dogs and they just called them blue. Man, I had a good run in with them Staffordshires back in the 90s, back in the late 90s, probably about 96, 97. That's why I tell you we ran into the blue brindle one. But it was more human aggressive. And they look like what they call the bully dogs today. We weren't calling them bullies back then. The name bully wasn't even out back then at this particular time. This dude had sold us some of them. He had one he had called named Jason. It was a brown one. You know how them brown Staffordshire looked back then. Man, this joker looked nice. I ain't gonna lie, that brown color looked nice on those staffs back then. That one they have in them damn magazines and them encyclopedias sometimes. You know, his was kind of like that. Kind of built, nice big head on him. Real active. Yeah, he had a nice one. I ain't gonna lie, I had a Staffordshire that I got a female. I ain't sure if I got it from him or another person, but I got a female and brown with a black mask, and I bred her to my my red boy dog that was coming down off that Cottonham Shiva stuff. And that's the time when the neighbor dog came and stuck to my dog while she was in heat. I looked outside, the dog was barking, my damn dog was barking, and damn neighbor dog stuck to my shit. I said, oh, hell no. Man, I was gonna blow that motherfucker brains out. My damn neighbor was an old man. He looked over there and told me if I would have did it, he was gonna shoot me. So I ain't want no problems with my neighbor. So I did some young person shit though, went in the woods and put my dog down, my female dog. Went straight in the woods and put her down. Young boy shit, man. Well, I tell you, I did some dumb shit in my days. And the thing about it, I had done bred my dog with her like 4 or 5 times already. And then his dog got stuck with her. And then I was just so damn mad and stupid that damn day. I wanted to put the pistol on his dog, but instead of putting the pistol on his dog, I took my dog out there in the woods and put the pistol on mine. And then she left here that day. The day that she bred, she left here. And she was a nice, badass Staffordshire. I wasn't gonna have no papers on her, but shit, back then I wasn't worried about no papers. That's how I know how little papers really meant back then, dog. I was making breedings, I was doing certain things with dogs and having these dogs, not even thinking about the damn papers. See, that's the thing. That's the thing right about now. That's the thing right about now. If brothers got the blue dogs, they try to keep them here. Bring them blue dogs out the damn hide and let us see them. Stand up proud with them blue dogs tonight and let us see them blue dogs from all different bloodlines. Red Boy Jocko Blues, the Eli Blues, the Jeep Blues. Stand up with your blues tonight. Let me see. Drop down in the chat. Let me see some pictures. You know what I'm saying? Take some pride in them Blues tonight, man. Big thank you for the $20 donation, brother Ken Lightning. Yes, sir, man. I was just talking about raising puppies up from 3 months old. It's the most important time for a puppy, the first three months. First 12 weeks. You train a lot of stuff into a dog, and I ain't talking about obedience training. Just the things that he gonna need or she gonna need throughout their life to be a stable dog. That first 3 months, what I'm saying? Being social with people, walking, like not being afraid to walk certain places, not being afraid to walk in between cars. If you want to get them used to the lawnmowers and the weed eaters and all that type of stuff, anything like that, you start them off young doing it. And it makes it a whole lot easier when you get older, or when the dog get older, rather. I was talking about food aggression when it comes to dogs. I was talking about food aggression when it comes to dogs, and not being a good thing when it comes to dogs that want to fight over food and all kind of stuff like that. Now, if some brothers gave me some pedigrees of some blue dogs, I forgot what pedigrees they was. If some brothers gave me some pedigrees, and it was a family of blue dogs. They was coming down off more blue dogs and different other kind of dogs. But I forgot which one they was, and it was kind of, you don't really see nobody with it. But you can bet your bottom dollar, like I always say, you can bet your bottom dollar, boy, in the last 30, 35 years, 40 years, damn well there's some blue Jeeps out there. They might not be blue now, but they got that blue blood in them. Blue Red Boy, Blue Jocko, Blue Eli. They ain't got to be blue right now, but they got that blue blood in them from when that man made that breeding. Damn well it is. They might be red nose, they might be black. It might be the best looking Mayday dog it is, but that bitch got some blue blood in his ass. Now, I don't know, Ronald, about the fighting dog they was calling Blue Paw. I ain't sure about what color he was. I ain't sure, though. I know one thing, them boys will pull out a passage. Them boys will pull out a paragraph or two when the man talking about seal dogs and them dogs, them funny color dogs and shit. Then they'll pull out a pedigree or two where they go back to the early 1900s where they talking when a dog got blue in his name. Yeah, man. It's one thing for sure, them blue dogs came around in the 90s. Cause we had them, we was getting them deep around here, like in the 96, around that time, 97, 96. They was deep around here then. Not no bully dogs, but blue. Either Staffordshires or whatever they call pit bulls. If you took the bulldog, whichever bulldog they used to make the pit bull, and the bull terrier right now today, how many breeders would you think it would take you before you get you a full-blooded looking pit bull? How many breeders would you think it would take you? From a straight full-blooded bulldog and a full-blooded bull terrier. I say maybe the first breeding you might get them. Can Lightning say 3? That's a good number though. That's a logical number, especially after you get that first one and you select the breeding off that first one, and you keep the ones that look like the pit. So they ain't gonna look like the mama, neither the daddy. They're gonna be in between. I guess you have to do it with two pairs of bull terriers and bulldogs. That way you don't have to like really inbreed them, brother and sisters. Have a pair over here and a pair over there. About 3 breedings. Knowing what we know, that the bull terrier and the bulldog made the pit bull, can you actually call a bulldog bull terrier mix a pit bull in today's time? If I cross a full-blooded bulldog with a full-blooded bull terrier, can I actually call that a pit bull? Can Lightning say no? Now, hey Ken, you know you got them brothers out there now that will argue you down and say you can breed a bulldog with a bull terrier and you got your pit bull. I'm not gonna argue with it. I'm just asking the question. I don't think you can either. I think all that process was already dead. You can't tell about you about to create a pit bull now with that same cross. That cross was dead hundreds of years ago. If you weren't part of that process, then it is what it is. You might create a designer breed, another breed you're gonna call something else. Yeah, you be creating a bully or some shit like that. That's exactly what you're gonna get in modern day time when you cross a bulldog with a bull terrier, like a bully dog. I say no too, brothers. I say no too, because I think the times is way past now. Like you say, you got lineage in these dogs, pedigrees that go hundreds of years in these dogs when these brothers breed them certain ways. And like Donald said, the original bull terrier has switched up in the looks. I think that was the English terrier, but still the looks switched up just a tad bit as far as the working ability. They got more heavier. They was more lean back then. When you look at the old pictures of the old terriers that they used, they was more lean looking with the long snouts. These ones now hold a little more weight on them. But if a brother wanted to spend some time on it, that would be a good little scientific experiment. Breed a bulldog to a terrier and see how long it take you to get you some legitimate bulldogs where you can walk in a group of bulldog brothers and they can't tell you what line of dog that's off of. Oh, forget whether it's mixed breed. We want to know what line he's off of. And that's how you know he's looking good. And Kid Lightning say 3 breedings, 3 generations. Guys say 1. But one thing for a fact, we do know the original bull terrier that they used was more athletic of a dog than the ones that they got now. And the bulldog that they used was a more athletic bulldog than the one that they got now. We'll have to kind of go with the American bulldog-like type dogs. There's no way them English bulldogs that the Georgia Bulldog mascot was going to be hunting no bears and no bulls and none of that type of stuff in no rain. You had to have a bigger bulldog to do all that type of stuff. That English bulldog, the Georgia Bulldog mascot, can't do no hunting, can't do too much work because the way they snout built. They're not going to be able to breathe like a working dog can really breathe. So they definitely didn't use one of them kind of bulldogs. Yeah, that's why I say too, guy, you're going to get both looks in one litter. Say if you got 10 puppies, you just hoping a couple puppies come out looking like close to a mix of both dogs. Then you go take them and go back into another one of them breedings from the second set that you got. Whichever ones look more like the pits on that breeding, you come take them and breed them back to the other ones. But you're gonna have to keep them. You're gonna have to keep them for a little while in order to see them traits coming out. The long snouts. You're gonna have to keep the ones that are gonna have the longer snouts. The ones that are gonna be taller in leg length. So that ain't gonna be something you can just see off top. You're gonna have to keep them and sit on them for a while. The whole litter you're gonna have to sit on because it's an experiment you're doing. And you're gonna have to keep them at least till they get several months old where you can start seeing how they're gonna be shaped out. And keep the ones that's gonna and breed the ones that's gonna look more like the pit bull. But the whole thing about it though, man, I mean, you really can't say it's gonna take 3 breeders or 2 breeders or 1 breeder because the pit bull looks so many different ways, man. You could take a bulldog and breed it with a bull terrier, and you might have a dog that's looking like this kind of line dog. Man, these pits look all kind of ways out here. Bulldog styles and all kind of styles. And they full-blooded pit bulls. I know one thing, I'm going to stand on this too as well. I said this one time before. I think the pit bull is the most used dog when it comes to mixing in other dogs to make working dogs, for one, good hard working dogs, and create all other kind of dogs. There's no other breed that they use as much as they use the pit bull. They breed them in the Patterdales. They breed them in we just speaking about Dutch Shepherds and Malinois, all the little bully breed dogs, Staffordshires. They breed pits into everything. Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all brothers and sisters tonight, my friends. Y'all stay safe out there, man. Y'all stay legal out there. Remember where you come to get it from first. Boy, PBK9s, and I'm out.